Hi, thanks for tuning in. This is the ASX and Sectors weekly chart analysis for the week ending 27th of January 2023. First chart is the parent index as usual. This is the S&P ASX 200 index, the XJO. Now, this week spread narrowed considerably. Volume was a bit lower, mostly due to the shortened week for Australia Day on Thursday. Price has been moving higher with some intent more recently. Up here is probably the most important level in the near term on this chart, and probably the reason why spread narrowed considerably this week. This is effectively the breakout line at the highs of the trading range. There is a little bit of fluff up in this sort of level, but I'm not expecting it to be too significant, at least not at this point in time. I expect this level here, especially in the near term, to be the important level that price needs to negotiate a path through. You can see price broke above the recent highs last week and have been challenging breakout level this week, and that's most likely why spread reduced this week, along with the shortened trading week. Now, I would expect there's a reasonable chance that price will dance around this level, at least to some degree, prior to any push higher, but that remains to be seen. Generally, an important level like this, price will not just blast through and never see it again. It'll normally spend some time there absorbing supply prior to moving away. If this does happen, then any old supply from the left may well be absorbed at this point in time as well. The next chart is the mid-cap sector. This was leading for a little while previously, but the sector has been left behind a little bit more recently by the parent index. Price is currently trading up in this range here, where there's been some issues in the past. Price failed here. The XJO is trading up at this level at the moment, so you can see that this market is a little bit further behind where the parent index is trading. Similarly, volume reduced this week in this market. Spread was about the same as the previous week. The previous week price was negotiating its path through these older levels, and it's a bit of a complex zone through here, which is probably why spreads have narrowed over the past 2 weeks. The strong closes suggest that the market is dealing with the supply that's being drawn out quite well at this point in time. And I expect that if the parent index continues higher, this market will too. So if the market dances around a bit like this, it's probably because the XJO is doing a similar thing prior to any move higher. And it should also be said that the market could fail here. It's failed previously at this level. So you need to watch this level pretty carefully over the next week and see just how prices respond. This is the small ordinary sector. This has been left behind quite a bit. The mid caps are up at this level. The XJO is up at this level. And the small ords are just grinding their way through this little complex zone here. And I expect they may have to continue with this grinding action for a little bit longer yet, prior to any really serious push higher. This is the financial sector. The financial sector are doing a fairly good job at the moment of pushing higher. The XJO is up at this level up here. So the financials aren't too far behind. And being Australia's largest sector by some distance, if the financials are supporting price, that's why the parent index is doing so well. the parent index is dominated by 8 to 10 stocks, and the big four banks play a huge part in that. So financial is doing fairly well. You can see spread narrowed 2 weeks ago as it was dealing with the highs of this range. Prices accelerated higher this week, and that probably tells you that supply has been absorbed here, and price is going to move up and attempt to challenge the highs of the range in a similar fashion to the parent index. Okay, next chart is the metals and mining subsector, and this market has been acting quite strong recently. It has accumulation in the background and a nice gap out, which you like to see, and prices pushed higher, come back and absorbed any supply that's been drawn out, made a secondary push higher just recently, and it's dealing with the most recent highs up here at the moment. Now, a bit of supply appears to have been drawn out this week, spread narrowed considerably. Volume, while it looks below average, it was only a 4-day week this week, so I expect the reduced volume is because of that shortened trading week. It does appear that some supply has been drawn out this week, and you may see price retreat back into this zone here and perhaps have to do a little bit more work absorbing supply prior to any attempt to continue higher. But we'll see. It may just be that this was an absorption bar in itself and price continues higher immediately. The response will tell us just how the market's playing. This is the ASX gold sector, and similar to the metals and mining sector, it has accumulation in the background, a nice gap out of the accumulation zone to confirm the strength in the market. Price has accelerated higher and tested for supply, moved higher again, moved into absorption mode, and now it's accelerated higher again as it moves past all of these little zones to the left where supply is being drawn out. I expect this level up here is possibly the next level that's going to need to be dealt with if price is continuing higher. This week's bar does appear similar to the metals and mining sector, that supply has been drawn out. Volume was pretty strong considering it was a 4-day week, so this market may also need to spend a little bit more time and do some more work down here prior to any consideration of a challenge to this zone above. The ASX energy sector has been an ongoing disappointment for some time. It appeared ready to break out previously and has failed to do so each time, and it's looking a little like it could fail to do so again here. Although this could be just an absorption bar, volume was very low this week, and while we had a shortened trading week, that's even lower than a shortened trading week. That's very low volume, so we'll just have to see. Perhaps there's still some volume to come through tonight. We'll just wait and see on that. But at this point in time, almost certainly there'll be a test for supply like this early next week. And similar to the previous two charts, this market may need to do a little bit more work down here prior to any attempt to push higher. But we'll remain open-minded. This may just be an absorption bar, and similar to what I said with gold, if this was just absorbing supply and supply is found to be low, then the market may just attempt to accelerate higher early next week. The response will tell us for sure just exactly what's going on, but this level, the highs of the range, have been difficult to negotiate a path through for some time now. The ASX healthcare sector have also appeared poised to break out numerous times in the past and haven't done so. 2 weeks ago, price accelerated higher to the highs of the range. I don't expect this trading here to the left to contain a great deal of supply. I think the serious level is here. And that's what stopped the market previously. Now, price accelerated up to this level last week and has moved into consolidation mode this week. And volume was increased and about average on a shortened trading week, yet spread reduced considerably. Look how much spread this bar had on less volume, and this market moved lower this week on an increase in volume. That was support, that was buying support come in, that was absorption, and it's more than likely a precursor to a serious challenge to this line in the near future. Now, you may find that early next week the market does this a little bit, but this market is poised to move higher given any sort of favourable trading conditions. So this was buying last week, this was absorption. So be prepared, the market might be ready to break out. Last chart is the industrials, which have also been a bit of a disappointment more recently, perhaps the biggest disappointment. The market has failed at the breakout line so many times previously. It's been a real disappointment. I'll just fill in the range of this gap here and show why the gap appeared was here. And the market's really gapped over this line here, which in itself shows some intent. Now, the market this week spent some time in consolidation mode, testing for supply. There was an increase in volume, so it appears that the volume has been absorbed below this line and prices moved higher in response. This is the really serious level to overcome in the near term, and the breakout line above that. So the market looks poised to challenge this level given any sort of favourable trading conditions next week. But we've been let down by this market many times previously. So it remains to be seen if it can muster enough strength to attempt to challenge this level and perhaps push through. Back to the parent index just quickly. It's one of the stronger markets on the ASX at the moment. It's poised to break out by the looks. It does appear that some supply was drawn out this week, so you may get some early testing for supply. These markets do it all the time, whether they're actually in absorption mode or they're waiting for favourable trading conditions to emerge. If the market has nothing to do, it'll test for supply. That's what they all do. But this market looks poised to move higher, given any sort of favourable trading conditions next week. Okay, thanks for your time. See ya.